Hey guys, Kid here of Burnwell with a new deck profile video. This one is going to be on the Love Live Sunshine deck that myself and one of my teammates, Nikolai, took first place with at New York, Ohio, and then third place at Texas for the Springfest regionals. The deck has performed really well, and this deck was like literally slapped together the day before at the airport before the New York regional, and this is what we kind of landed on when Nikolai and I were testing, and we ended up with a build that's going to be a little bit different than other builds, though I'm pretty sure there have been other similar builds out there. But I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. So start off, we play runners, but surprisingly we only play 3 of the Yoshiko runners. It's because we're trying to find room for other cards in this deck, and our zero count is a little bit lower than normal because our in-game package requires that we reveal a level 1 or higher card to do extra damage. So this is why we're like cutting certain spots at 0 and kept the zero count really low in this deck. So solid plus and the solid plus 500 power lets your chicas get over things in the sort of online matchup, or at least tie whenever your opponent has 4 or 5 Yukina on defense. So it's a pretty solid card all around. You're gonna run it no matter what, because we just need to be able to plus at 0. Next we run 2 of this other Yoshiko. This is the anti-runner. We can't use backups when this is on the field, but we basically don't run any backups until level 2, and this card's dead after level 0, so you almost never play it again from hand. And it makes it the card across from this unable to move, so this kills runners in English. So a lot of top tier decks right now do play some kind of running effect just like this. So this is a good counter towards it. I don't know. We probably should have had this at 3, but like I said, the count for this deck is really low at 0, and I couldn't really find anywhere to cut to be able to add a 3rd one or even a 4th one for this card, so I just kept it at 2. Next, our other beater is this level 0 Yo Watanabe Suicider, or level 0 bomb. It has a secondary effect of when it goes to waiting room, you could pay 2 to salvage 1. This is a really good effect for tri-fielding early when you have opportunities to do that, as well as salvage key pieces you need at level 2 and higher. So you can get your second year package game plan going at level 2. Next, we run 2 of this Dia Searcher. So this is something that I think not a lot of decks will be running, but I think it's a pretty strong card. So it has on attack, pay 1, ditch 1 Searcher deck for a blue character. Our blue count in this deck is something like 10 cards. So the effect isn't used that often, but in certain game plans, it's really good to find your blue cards you need at level 1 to be able to facilitate not being able to get your combo off early. The secondary effect, which is really solid, is when this gets or at your encore step, if there are no other rested characters, you can pay 1 to rest this card. It's a good plus on turn 1, and also later in the game when you need to just build some advantage for your hand, because sometimes your hand can get screwed up a bit if your combos don't go off well. Search is basically to set up our level 1 Mari game in matchups we need it, and also to pay out climaxes since it's an on attack search. It's usually used up a lot to level for blue. Next, another piece of the deck. This is probably one of the biggest key cards of the deck. Is this Kanan that when one of your characters goes from field to waiting room, you can sacrifice this card to be able to bring that card back rested. So this protects our level 3 game and also our level 1 game occasionally too, if we plan to combo back to back with the level 1 Chica game plan. But the second effect is which makes this card absurd, is that whenever it goes to waiting room, you can look at the top card of your deck and choose to leave it there or move it to the bottom. The way this deck plays out, you manipulate your deck a lot, so this is a really good effect. It also basically lets you look at 1.5 cards of your deck, so you can save a character and then decide if you want to draw that card or not, or you can run this card into your opponent, and then when it dies, you can mill or move the top card of your deck to the bottom to dig yourself a little deeper to a climax for the cancel if you need it. Probably one of the MVPs of the deck. Finally, we play 3 Brainstormers. We play the Johanna I Brainstormer. Has on attack, if you trigger a climax, give a character 2k, which is really important for this deck since our level 1 game plan is pretty weak if we can't kill them with the Chica bombs or anything else. It makes it so that our Chicas can kill things that are over 4k power that we can't reverse with it, as well as our Rubies at level 1. They become like 6k attackers, so it's a really good effect. Second effect is pay 1, tap self, mill 4. Every climax you hit, salvage a yellow colored character. So it kind of sucks that we can only pick yellow characters, but luckily we were able to run the level 1 Ruby in this deck, so that helps us find things in our deck and mill our deck faster as well. But the reason we played this over any other Brainstorm is because it's the self-tap Brainstorm, and at level 2, when we have the Rico support out, it makes it kind of awkward to be able to tap for the Rico effect and then also Brainstorm the same turn. Really important card. I think it's pretty solid at 3 though. So our level 1 game plan is Chica. The reason we played this over the +2 soul variant of the build is that I would like to set up the game plan of stalking away the level 3 Yo, and so the following turn, if I get hit to level 2, I'm able to pay the Yo out with cost, so I can summon it early with the Chica. I think it's one of the best parts of being able to run this. The second fact is that this salvage climax combo with the stock soul is you get to select the card you want. It's better selectivity than the Ruby level 1 game plan. The Ruby level 1 game plan does +2 very well, but it doesn't give you the selectivity that the Chica does, which I think is important in be able to mulligan better, I guess, with the deck. And then also it hurts a lot of like wall decks at level 1 that can get reversed by level 1 suiciders or bombs. So the second part of the deck, this is another really key point of the deck, is the Ruby, Akatsuki Ruby. It's on play, discard 1, look at the top card up to the top 4 cards of your deck, add a music trait character to your hand, and discard the rest. So this lets us handshape very well and mill our deck really fast, and in some cases where we do move cards to the bottom of our deck, like climaxes to the bottom of our deck, we can use this effect to get really close to the climax and letting us cancel more often and control like the next instances of damage, being able to cancel like 1 or 2 of them. This is probably one of the best cards of the deck, just in combination with Kanan level 0, as well as our secondary game plan at 1 is the Mari level 1. So a lot of decks will be a little bit more greedy, I guess. I don't know if I would call it greedy, but usually the game plan for the deck is literally Chica and the Ruby level 1. But we went ahead and tested out with blue, and we actually like the blue a lot more because it just provides so much for the deck, whether it be randomly plussing you, setting up triggers, or being able to manipulate your deck better. So this Mari on plays, look at the top card of your deck, you can choose to leave it there, put it at the bottom of your deck. So this, in combination with the Ruby and other milling effects, can help set up really good plays, like putting your level 3s on the bottom of your deck to make sure you trigger the level 3 to burn for 3 on your Yo. The other effect is whenever this card attacks, it gets 1,000 power for every other character, so it's a 7k base on attack. So this is why this card is so good as our secondary game plan. If we miss the Chica combo, at least we have ways to clear the field and keep characters on the field, as well as the last effect is whenever this gets reversed in battle, you can reveal the top card of your deck. If it's level 2 or higher, this card bounces back to your hand. So occasionally you randomly plus once or twice, and it feels so good if you hit randomly, like just get value off this card even more, being able to bounce it back to your hand to set up another turn to top check and burn with Yo. This is probably one of the best cards in the deck outside of the combo package. Personally, I really like this effect, and it's really hard for me to even like cut this out of the deck, even though I do know it hurts the deck some with your second year package, because generally what you want to do is pad your level 3 and level 2 game with the second year package here, so your Yo level 3 constantly burns for 2 or 3, but here we actually run 12 level 1s, making it so you're more likely to actually burn for 1 more than 3 and 2. Also, having 12 level 1s hurts this card's secondary effect of being able to bounce back to your hand, but that last effect isn't as important as the other 2 effects, which is very helpful for the deck. And then this is the target usually we're looking for for when we do the blue search. Moving on to level 2, we only run 3 Rico supports. So this card is level assist as well as has a secondary effect that works very well with the deck, which is you can discard a card and tap this card, reveal the top card of your deck, and then salvage a character that's level is equal to X or lower, where X is the top card revealed. Climax is being level 0, of course. So you use this effect a lot to top check your deck and hopefully see like a level 3 on top or a level 2. So your Yo level 3 that you early play burns for like 2 or 3 is what you're hoping for. It also lets you cycle your support back row. So when every turn you're sacking the Kanan to save like the Yo level 3, because it's fairly weak by itself, you can sack the back row and save it, and then next turn discard a card to salvage the level 0 again and play it again in the back row. So it always protects your early plays, which is really important for the deck. We only run 3 because we just needed more space. This might be wrong. You might want 4, because if you have 4 and this gets hit into your clock, then you don't have to clock at level 2, which feels great sometimes. So this might be a miss. Like, we might have to look at the deck again and move around some cards. This probably should be at 4, but those events we played the deck at, we only had it at 3, and it felt good enough. Basically, I've never really had any trouble getting it to my hand and putting it into clock. We play a 1 of this Johanna I. It bottom decks higher level cards than your opponent's current level. Has another effect too, which is on play, you play rock, paper, scissors, and if you lose, then your characters gain 2,000 power. But if you win, then nothing happens. The 2,000 power actually comes up occasionally being important for the deck, which kind of sucks, so you always have to go for the extra 2,000 power. But we put this in the deck just so we can set up removals for the mirror match. If our opponent is playing early plays, we can bottom deck it, or not bottom deck it, send it to stock, and make sure that we don't have to deal with it. So like a really good thing is being able to remove your opponent's early play Chica, so that, or remove the Chica or even the Yo, so the Chica loses power so you can kill the Yo. The only downside to this card is that if you do stock bomb the Yo, if they have the Chica in hand, they can just pay out the stock to summon the Chica or Yo again. But at least you're forcing your opponent to waste more resources in a deck that already has trouble building a lot of stock. Next, we run 2 of the Ruby counter. Originally, personally, I had this at 1, but actually this card is super amazing after playing with it a lot more and watching Nikolai play as well. I've killed some people by forcing them to mill cards with this effect. So it's a 3k counter, but has a secondary effect of when you use this backup, your opponent mills the X top cards of their deck, where X is the number of music characters you have. So this usually goes for like 5 or 4 when you do use this effect, and so a lot of times you have to figure out if it's a really good timing to use the effect or not. And also it's always really good to use it if your opponent's really compressed, because if you randomly mill like 3 climaxes, it hurts them a lot. Oh, there's the train. Next, this Chica level 3, it loses a level in your hand if you have the 2/1 Rico support out. And so when this comes into play, you can pay 1 extra stock to summon the Yo level 3, which we also run. This is our game ending package, and this is the whole reason to be playing the deck is the second year package here. We have the Rico, the Yo, and the Chica. They all synergize very well with each other. The Yo gives the Chica extra 2,000 power. This summons this out early. And then on attack for the Yo, where you reveal the top card of your deck and your opponent burns X, where X is the level of the card you revealed, or the music character that is. It has to be a music character. So you get like bonus attacks in at level 2 really early, and you put a lot of pressure on your opponent by summoning multiple level 3s out for fairly cheap cost. And then this usually pushes really hard and ends the game right soon after. We do run a couple extra cards at the end here. So if we get to level after like a turn or 2 of the Yo, if we get into their level 3 or we get hit into level 3 and we go to push for end game, we do play 2 Johanna. They're basically Musashi burns. That's the only reason we use them for. And so this is one of the ways we close out games. So there'll be like turns where you swing with Yo a few times at level 2, and then you get hit to level 3, and then you'll like double play Johanna Musashi basically, and like have a Yo here, and this is a common way to push for the lethal when your opponent's like at 3-3 or 3-4, something like that. We do not play the climax combo for this, though the climax combo is pretty good. And then finally, we play a one of this Dia level 3. It's our only healer in the deck. It's on play heal 1, and then if you have 4 more other music characters, you can put the top card of your deck into stock. So it's like a 3-1 healer. And the deck does have trouble with stock, so this is a good way to keep some of your resources, so you're able to like brainstorm the same turn you play your level 3s and things like that. As well as if you look at the top card of your deck through an effect and it's a level 0, you can use this to blind stock it away basically and remove that card from the top of your deck. The healing effect and stuff almost never comes up. The main game plan of the deck is to basically push your opponent really hard until they die, and hopefully you don't have to heal multiple times in a game. The reason we play one healer is because there's always that off chance of you being hit at 3-6 and you just need one heal, and this is the way to get there so you don't die to refresh. And we played in blue because we needed extra blue count, as well as this is searchable with our Dia Searcher as well, so it synergizes decently well. Finally, we play 4 stock soul and 4 gate. Gate is just for hand size and being able to have more selectivity from our waiting room, because our Ruby or Hanamaru Brainstorm only gets yellow cards, and stock soul for the climax basically. The only other optional climax you would pick here is if you play, I think the blue gate is a very good optional climax to put here, just so you can get the stock soul more often. You're able to abuse the stock soul combo more often, which is works really well with the deck. And being able to slam a stock soul whenever you want to get more resources is pretty good too. Besides that, if you have any questions about the deck or anything you want to see in the future, just go ahead and comment below. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoy our channel, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, as it does help our channel grow. Or you can reach out to us at any of the following social media links below. See you guys in the next video.